Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the world distribution of population, how human beings are unevenly distributed all over the earth's surface. So there are countries which are overflowing with population and there are some countries which have got very sparse population. There are large areas which are still uninhabited. Very few population are still living there. And most of the world's population is only concentrated in a certain part of the earth's surface, which is only constituting 25% of the earth's surface. Asia and Europe are the two continents where maximum population is staying. Together, they constitute around 70% of the world's population. Whereas the continents like South America, Africa, and Australia are the least populated continents. The lowest number of population lives in these continents. Not a single but innumerable number of factors are responsible for such uneven distribution of population. So various geographical factors are important to determine the density of any region. The geographical factors like the climatic conditions, the amount of rainfall in a region, the forest cover, the soil cover, the physiographic divisions or physiography of any region. All these are factors which determine whether a region is highly populated or it is scantily populated. People mostly inhabit all those places where all the natural conditions are favorable. The rest of the human activities then follows. The second most important determinant of population density is technical know-how or development and prosperity in a particular region. There are several countries like China, Japan, Western European countries like Britain, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, which are quite developed and they also have got huge dense population. The northeastern region of the US, those are the regions which are highly densely populated because of the advancements and improvements in agricultural practices. There are industries, there are manufacturing, and there's large scale production, as well as these countries are quite developed. That is why a large amount of population migrates into these countries. Historical factors are another important and major factor for the density of population in any area. There are some regions which are inhabited by human beings over a long period of time, over ancient times. So, over the time period, these regions have become densely populated, especially the regions near major rivers like Yangtze Kiang, Tigris, Euphrates, Nile, River Ganga, Brahmaputra. All these river valleys are highly and densely populated because they could provide with water, agricultural lands, favorable climatic conditions. So all these conditions, geographical conditions, enable them to settle in these river valleys over long periods of time. So let's discuss about those regions which are sparsely populated. Why they are sparsely populated, what are the reasons behind? The first type of region is the tundra belt. The tundra belt consists of the region which is above the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle. So the tundra region extends from the northern parts of North America, Eurasia, including Norway, Sweden, Finland, Greenland, Siberia, Russia, as well as Antarctica. All these regions are highly uninhabited, or very few and scanty population is scattered here and there. The people who are living here are mostly nomadic and they keep on moving from one place to another as the climatic conditions changes. Some of them are called as Eskimos. So mostly the regions are isolated except for few places like the towns which are mainly around the mining areas of Gallivare in Sweden, which is known for iron ore, as well as Fairbank in Alaska, which is known for its mineral oil and gold, and Murmansk, which is in Siberia, which is known for its mining and trading center. All these regions are highly populated because they're center of mining as well as industrialization. Then in the coniferous forest belt, there is also a large stretch which is in the northern hemisphere, where winters are very cold as well as very severe and rainfall is very scanty. In those areas also we have got very less population density, and also there are swamps which cover a larger area where farming is very difficult, and so therefore small settlements are only found near those regions where there is industries or mining centers, or where oil and petroleum is obtained. So, in this particular belt, there is a particular region which is near the timber industry of Finland, where there is a certain amount of population and settlements, as well as in iron ore mining region of Knob Lake in Labrador, where we find certain amount of population. If we talk about the equatorial region, which is between 0 to 10 degrees north and south of the equator, which is around Amazon and Congo basin, the regions are highly unfavorable for population settlement because of higher temperatures and extremely heavy rainfall. Here, agricultural practices are very difficult because of the dense forest. Few tribal people live in these forests, which depend upon hunting and gathering. Only in those regions where the forest is cleared for farming and mining, population is considerable and existing there, like parts of Indonesia and Philippines, where the population density is quite high. Apart from all these regions, there are some tropical and temperate deserts where there is very scanty water availability, and also the cloudliness is very less. There is very little rainfall, as a result of which the growth of vegetation is quite impossible, and the food obtainance is very difficult. Both men as well as animals lead a very difficult life. These are the deserts of Sahara, Arabian Desert, Thar Desert, Kalahari Desert, Atacama Desert, Great Australian Desert. All these form a major part of the continents. Even the cold desert of Gobi Desert, which is a temperate desert, is very thinly populated. In the deserts, people are mostly concentrated around oases or where they can find water, especially in those areas where irrigation is possible near the river valleys, like the Nile Valley, which is highly populated in Egypt, or Tigris and Euphrates Valley, or maybe in the Middle Eastern regions where they find lots of mineral oil and petroleum, which is useful for them in order to obtain wealth. So, in those regions only there is high population. In Australian desert, Kalgoorlie is the gold mine region where there is high population because there is availability of gold over there. Mountains and high plateaus are another physical feature where there is very less human population, because it is very difficult to live in those regions because of the ruggedness and very difficult climatic conditions, difficulties in transportation, like the high mountains of the Himalayas, Tibet, Andes, Rockies. All these are great mountains where it is very difficult to live. People generally do not prefer such highlands because availability of water is very less, agriculture is very difficult, transportation is very costly, as well as living conditions are very difficult. Now let's talk about those regions which are densely populated and what are the reasons. Like the eastern and the southern Asian countries, they are extremely populated. Maximum population lives here. Half of the inhabitants of the world lives in this part of the continent. So this region has got the greatest concentration of population because of the low-lying regions, as well as the river valleys, the deltas, the fertile soil, as well as sufficient water, industrial regions, irrigation, minerals. All these are factors which lead to its high population. Such countries include China, Japan, Korea, India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, and Java. Then the countries which are in the northwestern and central Europe, which is highly industrialized zone. These regions are highly developed, which also has a huge concentration of world population, including Britain, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Poland, Germany, northern Italy, and European Russia. So in these regions, high amount of industrialization is there, mineral resources are there, development, prosperity, farming techniques are there, due to which people migrate into these countries and there is a huge population. Another important part of the world where there is high density of population, which is in northeastern USA, because of highly favorable climatic conditions, very fertile soil, mineral deposits, industrialization, minerals like coal, iron, all these are found here, as well as a very good transportation network of railways, roads, canals, which connects all these places. This area includes Baltimore, Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago, Pittsburgh, New York, Philadelphia.